Well, luckily, I was sitting there going through the auction, bidding on something completely different, and Chris was sitting right next to me. And I said, look at that. And without doing my due diligence, I started bidding on this car and actually thought it'd be ideal for a family member.
Yep.
It is a new all-electric Fiat 500. But very, very quickly, when this car arrived, I noticed I messed up big time, because this is severely doctored up.
Unfortunately, it is one of those, isn't it? We don't get caught very often.
This is a private entry, and we don't know to the extent of how badly doctored up it is, but we've seen some pretty horrifying stuff already. So just looking at the bonnet, it actually looks like it is all one shape.
But when you look at it, I was looking at it and I thought, that swage there don't quite match that one, does it?
No.
But didn't think much of it.
So they've actually bogged that, Chris, have they?
Yeah.
They have, yeah.
Have a look. I mean, this edge along here doesn't look too...
Jeez. They put a packer in there, look.
Yeah.
Why would you go to all that trouble? Look at that in there.
I know.
It's just been all beaten.
It kind of gets worse though, Rob, when you start looking.
Mate, we've got to take this in slowly. Look at the state of that bonnet.
Wood screw in the headlight.
This ain't come from Birmingham where I bought that other one, is it?
It's certainly a cowboy job.
Screws there.
Wood screw in this one. This is just what you can see, what you can observe.
That battery doesn't belong to this car at all.
No. That's like a Japanese battery with the small holes, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to say that bumper's been off. They've pulled that out.
I'm going to say that's exactly what they've probably done, Rob.
Yeah.
I think engine mount.
Yeah.
So that's had a fair donk, hasn't it?
That is only actually plastic, that mount, to be fair. So, but it has had a donk, because it's broke it.
So.
And it's broke the bottom of that water bottle as well.
There's no coolant in it, is there?
No.
So you're going to expect a radiator. And then on the inside.
Yeah, so Reclamat actually kindly picked this up for us, and the guy said, your doors are taped shut, but the doors are not. I mean, it's been, basically, they've opened the doors and then they've taken the battery off the car, but it is airbag kit gone, and the worst bit of it all is there is no key.
Seat belts have gone.
Seat belts are gone. Look, we all get bitten, and I definitely got bitten here, because this is a lash up. Chris, can you just hold that and turn it round? I do just want to make a point of saying something. Right, we bought this car from Copart, and everyone in the comments, I know, but we don't mind.
It was still quite cheap.
It was cheap, but they're going to say typical Copart. But this car, you've got to remember, is a private entry, and I'm not trying to defend Copart, but they are an auction company, and you just pay them for their service.
They can only sell what they're given.
They can only sell what they're given. They don't inspect the car. No. So a private entry has gone, yeah, I've got this Fiat 500, let's put it through, and they're quite happy to. You know their rules. You buy as is, where is.
It'd be nice if they took a picture under the bonnet.
Would have been lovely. But is what it is.
Yeah.
The telltale signs as well, Chris, if you want to come back round the front, I didn't notice until me and you started looking at this, was previously, you can see, this car come out of Copart.
Yeah.
Because that's one of them, and it's worn away. It's been sat around for quite some time. But why you would go to all that trouble
to doctor it up,
I just don't know.
To get out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you know what happens, mate, when you get given lemons?
Well, yeah.
We make lemonade.
Yeah.
Airbag service are on their way. They're coming to take the seat belts out and the airbag kit. We're not just... A lot of people would say throw it back through the auction, but I think 99.9% of you know, me and Chris ain't got that in us. That's not what we do. And if the car was absolutely knackered, we wouldn't put it back through the auction. We'd scrap it.
Yeah.
And take the hit, you know. But, mate, I guess let's let them get the airbags out, and then we'll pick up once the airbags come back, because I need to start collecting
what
a
year
lot
is this,
of
Rob?
72.
72.
So that's a late 22 or a 23.
Yeah.
I ain't quite sure, but
As
sorry.
you speak, your phone's just come back. airbag service are at the gate.
Oh, are they? Right, let's let them in then and get this done.
All right, mate.
I thought this one would be very, very interesting. So, Fiat 500 electric, odometer okay, financial and legal okay, and damage there needs attention. Now, I should have actually run this check before bidding on this car, but like I said, I actually got caught up in the moment, thought this is cheap and started bidding, and it needs attention. You can see there 2 ownerships found, and when you click on the CarVertical needs attention, it says we have 1 record of this vehicle was marked as an insurance write-off, and this would have been the big telltale straight away. So that's category S, written off on the 4th 2023. This car was written off 2 years ago, guys, so it just goes to show you, if I'd have run this CarVertical, I would have known that, and then straight away I would have smelt a rat. Let's scroll a little bit further into the check. So going a little bit further down, you've got your average market price there for this sort of vehicle, the highest, the lowest and the average. EV, you've got your tax and stuff there. You've got your make, model and everything else there. And also, I want to go to ownerships here. So 2 owners found, look, first registered 10th 22, and then second ownership 0425. Now that was actually me. I've had to apply for a logbook for this one just so that I can get a key for it. And that's timeline you can see on there, manufacturer's date, first registration, written off, and then of course when I got a V5 for it. I want to thank CarVertical for the continued support on the channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your check, hit the link in the description where it will automatically divert you to CarVertical and include your discount, or you can use the code that's been displayed up on screen throughout this check from any browser. This, guys, it's incredible to believe, but the last little bit of video we did on this was maybe, Z, when did you come? Maybe 1 month ago?
Yeah, something like that.
It was 1 month ago, wasn't it? And that's when me and Chris initially obviously bought this car and realised it was a private entry and we'd been tucked a little bit. But dashboard wise, there's the new one. He's just replacing the rear seat belts, or removing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, you already removed them.
Yeah,
So
I put it back.
putting them back. So both rear seat belts are going back in. Then it will be both centre seat belts, and then it'll move on to the actual airbag kit. But the key also should be in for this car on Thursday. So luckily Z is managing to do it around without even having a key for the car.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You've probably never done an airbag kit and the customer doesn't even have the keys.
I have the.
You have?
the 2 maybe times.
Does it make it more awkward for you or not? Because you can't turn the steering.
It's not problem big when you're done without the keys. It's more problem. Client, it must be known. I don't check it the faults of the car.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, it's what one problem, because when I take it and put it, all the faults what was, I don't know what fault was. It's just for the, how I would say, for the client, he must to know it's. If some faults was, I didn't see it.
Okay, so before you can read the car, see what faults there is, take the airbag module, clear it, you want to plug it back in, and you want to check that they've gone. I get you, 100%.
Yeah, it can be the problem, because when you put it without the key, you can put the ignition for the car. You can check it the fault what was.
Today it's going to be my problem because I didn't have the key for you. But
it's if some problems it will be with the module or some airbags, we can come back and check it all the faults.
Of course, absolutely.
It's no problem.
There's a link for airbag service, of course, in the description down below as usual. And he's going to make light work of getting this done. Let's take a look once you're completely done. I'll leave you alone.
Okay, thank you.
So Z from Airbag Service has actually left now, but we need to get this car inside. I'm going to show you the inside of it, but we have never done a thing with it apart from put it up on the trolleys. So now I'm putting a battery on it, leaving that door latch so that it can't shut, because of course we've got no keys, and we're going to use the mini digger to actually drag it in. Of course we've got 4 skates underneath it. The steering lock's now on. It's in drive, so in park, so the wheels won't turn, and the handbrake's on. Absolutely cracking job there, done by Z from Airbag Service. Look at that little car. And what's really, really strange, and honestly, it's actually unbelievable what happened.
It's powering up.
No, what actually happened when we was out there earlier and I put a battery on it, is I got in this car, it powered up with the ignition, and it actually allowed me to take the handbrake off and put this car into neutral. And I said, let me try it in park. I put it back in park and then the ignition turned off. I was convinced that the key was in this car, but it's clearly not, because when you push the brake, it's just coming up there. Look, bonnet open, and then it says to start, put the key in there. So,
well, he's on his way.
He's on his way.
We've got the new key on the bench.
But
here
5 weeks after we ordered it, on back order, the key has finally arrived. Now, Aidan did say he could get us one of these keys, but he had to order it off somebody because it comes half pre-programmed. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, part pre-programmed.
And it was, I'll be honest, we'd already ordered it from the dealer. So it's here now. This was about 200-ish quid. I think it was a little bit less. And it comes partially programmed to the car. So I can get in this car now. It's got a battery on it. It doesn't do.
And the car has got to learn it, or that's the
it's partially. Yeah,
something to do with that.
It's been done to the chassis number, but look, I'll put this key in the bit where it says put the key down there. Foot on the brake. And it's still saying just put it in there, so it's not actually doing. Maybe the back bit there. Let's try it in the back bit. So it's not actually doing anything. And Aidan did say, Rob, it won't do nothing until it's actually initialised. But since we put a battery on this car, even the door locks have started to work.
Yes, I saw that.
Everything's come to life.
Wow.
We still don't know the story. All we know is this car's definitely a lemon. It was definitely a private entry. But how far they got with it, how bad it is, that fell out from underneath.
Yeah,
Don't even look like it's for this car.
Look at the screws.
Oh, it is, clearly, yeah. Wood screws. Yeah, we don't know how bad it is.
I've never seen anything like this. Have you?
No. I have, yeah. There's a Indian YouTube channel. It's brilliant, where they like fix it on the side of the road, Chris.
Right.
And they actually take all this apart and straighten it out and then stick it back in. But I suppose places like that, they have to because the parts are not available. But
No.
in England, there's no excuse for that.
No.
And you may say you're crazy for committing, getting the airbags done, but we're going to try and make lemonade out of this one.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like the Fiat 600...
Oh, don't talk about that car.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's
keep our fingers
crossed. Wait for Aidan to turn up, program this key,
and
hopefully get a little bit forward on this one. But you can see the battery's miles too big, and I've sort of had to take the battery tray out and wedge it in there. But you seem to think that maybe where that's been off for so long and I've put that on,
maybe it
tricked the ignition.
I don't know,
Anyway, let's wait for him to arrive.
He
has arrived. He has arrived late in the day for us.
That's it, mate.
And this is the strangest key programming I've ever seen. But Aidan said because we got the key pre-programmed, he doesn't program these keys.
No, so basically...
Do you want to explain it? Yeah,
basically,
that was interesting.
We use something called an Oscar, which is like a remote diagnostic firm, if you know what I mean. You can show it as well. So...
This is what he's talking about, yeah. So it's into the OBD and then an Ethernet cable.
Ethernet cable straight to the Ethernet, and then literally you just plug it in, because this is already sort of half programmed to the car. Yeah. It already holds the pre-code, we call it. Yeah. So it's called the dealer key. Okay. So all we need to do is just code the dealer key to the car. The hard part is to get it into a dealer key. I told you we can do it another way, but I haven't got the license. I haven't bought that yet because there's not many of them around.
No.
I haven't really done any. This is my first one. So yeah, we're just literally plugged in. We've got the guys at Oscar.
And you're having a conversation.
Yeah. So I just literally tell them Fiat 500D, whatever year it is, they read the VIN anyway.
Yeah.
And I just say, look, we've got a key from the dealer, and then they use the Fiat original software to code it in.
Okay.
So obviously I don't have the original Fiat software, so the easiest way is to get someone who has a Fiat software to just code it in using their username and password, because they're authorized.
Right, mate.
So literally they just ask you, and then I just said, he just asked if it's a smart or a bladed key. I said it's a smart, so you literally start the procedure.
Perfect.
And they just tell us, look, hold the key there, open the door, close the door, just what their computer tells them to do. They just tell us.
I'm going to get you to literally your lock.
Yeah.
Cut me a blade while you're here.
That's fine,
do you know the dealer wanted £110 for a blade?
Very expensive, man. Very, very, very expensive.
Why though?
To be honest. I don't know,
You're
man.
going to pick that lock in a minute.
Yeah, probably
or
less
under.
than that, yeah, mate. And
Yeah.
it's going to take a couple of minutes, to be
It's
honest with you.
unbelievable. But why Aidan is here, he's not only just going to do this car, he's
Yeah, we're
also...
going to do a few more.
There's a problem with Chris's Passat key.
Yeah, and your...
And it just, I don't think it unlocks the car. He has to keep using the
It's
plastic
probably just
plate.
a button inside there, mate, if you want me to be honest. The buttons do go on them.
So we get that done, and
Yeah.
you're going to do a spare key for Claire's Evoque.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because that's not such a hard job on them earlier cars when you've got a key for it, is it?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, mate, we'll let you
All
crack
right,
on.
thank you, Rob.
In the description for
Thank
Aidan
you.
down below, his website is there. He only does, really, probably me worth mentioning again. I know you've been getting calls
Everywhere,
up and down
yeah,
the country.
yeah.
You work in the London area.
In London area, that's it, mate. Yeah.
All right, mate.
Purely London. Thank
Really
you.
sad, because it ain't my job. But I've seen Aidan do a lot of work on our cars, and that's got to be the easiest key programming ever, because he plugged it in and we sat there chatting while
That's it,
someone else
mate.
done
Literally, that was all, mate. But yeah, they've all programmed it in, as you can see when you press
Yeah.
unlock. And then obviously, I just turn the ignition on, and then that's the ignition on.
it. Yeah. Boot open. It's not
Yeah,
open.
no. I opened it just now with the key.
You pushed it with
yeah,
the button.
Yeah, just to
I
make
was going
sure.
to say,
everything-
we've never had it.
Yeah,
We've
no, I
never
just
had
wanted to do
open.
it. Obviously, it doesn't start. For what reason, I don't know.
But push it
You
neutral.
can put it into neutral now.
Yeah, so that's working.
And then you can release the handbrake.
Yeah.
So you can get it moving about.
Honestly, all this come up earlier, and I said to Chris, I think there's a key hidden in this car.
Yeah.
Why would that come on?
Well, I don't know. I just think maybe he had an accident with, obviously because he was driving, then he had this accident and
The ignition was already
it
on.
was already on, and then they disconnected it, and then obviously it's reconnected now, and it still thinks it's in its old state. You never know, Rob.
No.
But yeah, let's just see what the deal's about. But for now, the keys are all done.
Yeah, everything's working.
Yeah,
Well, you've
everything's
got the
all
window
good.
down as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. So everything works. Everything's good to go. Just literally, we need to. You guys need to investigate why it's not
Oh,
starting.
mate, we're going to crack on with it in the background
Yeah,
now. Let's
yeah.
get you out of this one and then straight into Chris's Passat.
Passat,
Get that
that's it.
key sorted.
No worries,
Thank
mate.
you, dude.
It's all good, mate. Thank you.
So now that we've got a key for it, I've put a diagnostic machine on it, and I'm just going to do a health report. I don't know if this one is a Fiat or it is Stellantis, so I don't know if it is the original Fiat or this is got the same technology in it as the Fiat 600, which I'm hoping not, because that has been an absolute pain. But there's plenty of codes come up there, and like I normally do say, I am just going to hit clear them down, try it, turn the ignition off, turn it back on, and see what ones do come back. But of course there was no battery and there's so many codes. Well, mate, that was very successful to a degree. Aidan's done the key. We now have the keys to the car. We've also just realised, just by plugging that diagnostic in, you heard me there on the time lapse, we're currently in park. It now allows you to put it into neutral,
Brake off.
handbrake off,
Yeah,
and
so-
it is rolling, which is better than the Fiat 600, isn't it?
It is, yes.
But this car is coming up with, on here, press brake pedal, press the start button. I'll tell you the faults that it's displayed up here. Check airbags, press brake pedal button. It was something else on here.
ABS not available.
ABS not available. Traction control, run flat tyre, hill hold control unavailable. They're all popping up here now. Lane control unavailable. There's going to be something missing behind that front
Radar.
bumper or
Yeah.
smashed to pieces,
That
isn't
radar,
there?
probably.
But I'm not even going to wait for those. I went through and just done basically a health report just to see what we did have on there and what we could see with the launch without getting gateway access, because of course this car's got a gateway module on it. So 15 codes there in body control module, and then you've got 8 codes in instrument panel, 5 codes in telemetrics box, 6 codes in electric vehicle control unit, and then 10 codes in battery pack control module, 2 in electric shifter module. Then you got loads of like little ones here, dual charge module, intelligent centre stack, heating and ventilation too. It has just got so many codes on it. Occupancy restraint, that's 15 codes, and Z just couldn't clear those down because he didn't have the keys to the car. We couldn't power up the ignition.
No.
But of course now they will all clear, because that's all 4 seat belts, it's
That's right, it's
dashboard,
all-
steering wheel. They all
fixed.
went, didn't they? And also, I still don't think we'd be able to clear them because there's a crash sensor on that front bumper, and I think that's disconnected.
Yeah.
We don't know what's lurking behind there. All we know is it has got telephone numbers in codes, Harpic lane feedback 11, and not one of them, even when we hit clear, they don't clear from this computer because we've got no gateway access. So
I think even if we could clear them, it won't move under its own steam with no coolant, will it?
No, it won't.
Because the battery pack will sense that and switch off, won't it? So
I guess, like you just said before we went live here, the bit we're quite anxious about, and I think everyone else is going to want to see, how far did they go under that bumper?
Yeah, we've got to
and
have a
how
look,
bad
haven't
is
we?
it?
We've got to have a look, haven't we?
Should we have that front bumper off, take a look?
Yeah.
We're going to have to order the rad pack.
We're
and
committed
bits
now
for it.
anyway.
Yeah.
We've gone down the route of
Absolutely.
it's got to be, whatever's behind it, it's got to be fixed. So, yep.
Let's just flick that out. Now the doors do, which is nice. They shut and open. Right, let's get this front bumper off and have a look at the nightmare lurking behind it. Actually, I ain't going to take a lot to get it off because it looks like it's just got wood screws holding it on. Let's do it. So onto the ramp. Of course we couldn't get it to drive, could we? But everything seems to be working. A lot of the codes have stayed out, but we just got it up in the air to take a look really and see what is actually holding that front bumper on. And it is just a few bolts underneath and then that load of wood screws on the top here. And then you've got your front crash bar, which has been off before. There's bolts missing out of it. The rad pack's been pulled and straightened, but never been off the car. But of course we need to strip it all out and get a substantial list. Well, he's definitely not going to be building that shed, because there was actually only 9 wood screws holding it together. And I think 9 wood screws in a car is acceptable, Chris.
Well, I'm not sure about it.
No,
I agree
definitely,
with that, Rob,
definitely not. An absolute crying shame what they did there to this car. They obviously couldn't get the parts for it.
No.
They're going to be a bit of a challenge to get. But the fact that they went to all the trouble of this whole, exactly as this car is now, it's already been like this at some point.
They've panel beated that, Rob. Done a cracking job there, mate. They've put a chain or a rope behind that and pulled it forward, haven't they?
Yeah. That actually don't look too sad, but it's going to be bent, isn't it?
Slightly bent, but it's minimal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is actually minimal damage on that, but the rad pack,
That's been pulled straight.
it actually bows out slightly as opposed to in. So yeah, it's been stood on, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. So that's toast. And the headlights, I don't know about the one that you took out your side. No, that looks okay, and you probably get a lug kit for that. But this one here did have the wood screw holding it in.
And it's got a hole in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a big hole in the back of it, so that is toast.
I think we can safely say, Rob, it has been doctored.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any dispute.
It has.
We knew that as soon as it arrived, really, didn't
Yeah,
we? But
it's going to be down to they couldn't get the parts for it. But you just said to me before we swapped over from time-lapse to live there, doesn't matter if this car sits outside for 6 months. Once all the bits become available, I completely agree. I'm messed up here and I've got us a lemon, but we're not going to blow out of it. It was cheap, like you said.
It was cheap. And, we now know what we're looking at. Battery pack is showing 93% charge, so I don't think there's any fault with the battery pack, other than, again, has it
Definitely.
got some kind of crash data stored, switched off. But until it's all repaired, and full of coolant.
What I do know on this one in particular, I know people say it's a bit round the wrong way, but we will make sure this car is completely 100% back together before we try and have the reset procedure done on the battery, because with the Fiat 600 they really kicked up a stink about that car not having the front bumper fitted and a headlight missing. Yet it was their fault.
I know, and we still haven't got headlight repair. We have got a date for the headlight.
Chris, by the time this video goes out,
there is no date. Was it estimated September for headlight?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But by the time,
so you can't put the bumper back on.
By the time this video goes out, that video would have gone out. That's fine.
I know. But just while you're on the subject, how difficult is it on that Fiat 600? There's a procedure on the transmission, isn't there?
Yeah.
How difficult with the front bumper on?
Yeah.
And we had to get it to them. So it's like,
That's right.
what do you?
So this car goes into neutral, and it rolls.
So,
and we've now got everything. Well, I'm going to say everything lightly because we've only got what was left on this car.
Yeah.
But
there is a motorised valve there. That's been a motorised valve too long, Rob. The stepper pump there.
Wires broke off.
You noticed the motor mount, didn't you?
Yeah.
Broken. Coolant reservoirs toast. Sounders toast.
Yeah. Plenty to get on the internet.
Lots.
And try.
I think the wings have survived, haven't they?
Yeah, they look alright, mate. Yeah. Should be alright. Couple of dents in them. I think we've gone as far as we can go.
Yeah, we've got a big shopping list now, haven't we?
Let's get on with that then. That is going to be the end of today's video and the end of the first video on the little Fiat 500 that we've actually been bloody hiding for months. So it's nice to finally have it out there. If you enjoyed this video or got any comments or thoughts on it, put them in the comment section down below. Where do you reckon it was repaired? Do you know who repaired it? Let them know they need to go to Specsavers. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you all very, very soon in the next one. No joke.
No joke, Rob.